Strategically, was this a good move by Hamas?
You know, it's worth noting that it's not only Hamas that has been excluded, but Palestinians entirely have been excluded from this negotiations. This is an American-Israeli plan, first and foremost. And I practically am optimistic in the short term about the fact that we are going to get that initial release of hostages in exchange, by the way, for Palestinian hostages by the thousands who have been kidnapped by Israel without any charge or trial, who are rotting in Israeli prisons. But we don't, when we say the word hostages, we rarely talk about Palestinian hostages because we're conditioned to think of them as prisoners or whatever else. But the problem with the plan is about the long term. The short term part is indeed promising, and anybody should welcome a pause in this genocide. I mean, this has been 2 years of utter devastation of the civilian population in Gaza, deliberate starvation, deliberate killing of children, and the list of atrocities goes on. The problem with the long-term part of it is that it talks about the need to completely disarm and demilitarize Gaza, first putting it under the control of a so-called peace board run by Tony Blair and Donald Trump, two people whose list of crimes in the region is frankly endless. And then after that, it also gives Israel the ability to remain within a so-called security perimeter inside Gaza, not obligated to withdraw until they feel like it. There's no timeline for it. So all you're doing is essentially saying that Palestinians are going to remain living under the control of Israel, under the domination of the Israeli government, with no prospect of ever being a free people. And in that sense, while the short-term halt to the genocide would be welcome, in the long term, this is not really solving any problem, and it's going to put us back right in a situation that is ripe for conflict. And just one last quick point. Trump called on Netanyahu to immediately stop the bombing of Gaza. And since then, Netanyahu has killed more than 100 Palestinians throughout the Gaza Strip. The bombardment has not stopped. So this tension between Netanyahu and Trump is ongoing about whether Trump's words are going to mean anything when he calls on Israel to stop behaving the way it's behaving.